Carx Street has been out for a few days now, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. I'm blown away by what this game offers for its $20 price tag. However, it needs an update very badly. Let's talk about it. Let's go. I don't want to waste anyone's time, so let's jump straight into it. Carx Street has two very big problems, and I'm making this video with the hopes that some of the devs see it and decide to address this community's concern. The first and biggest issue with the game is the economy. They attempted to address this issue with a small patch yesterday, but it's just not enough. They increased the rewards for free drive and they decreased the cost of the regular gas. But if you ask me, it's not enough, and I want to explain this problem in a little bit more detail for you in this video. If you haven't experienced the game yet, here's a quick rundown on how it works. First, actually let me say this. The game was a mobile game for the last 2 years, and now they've adapted it for PC, and they've removed the microtransactions that the mobile game had. Why is that important? Well, mobile games make the vast majority of their money on the microtransactions. It's just the way that they're built, and because of that, there are all kinds of tactics and strategies and mechanics in place during the development that do two things. Number one, they keep the player playing the game, and number two, they offer the player the quote-unquote easy way out, and by that I mean they give the player the option to purchase a currency that will help speed up their progression of the game. And because that ends up being the game's main source of revenue, the devs stretch out that progression in hopes of incentivizing the player to spend a little bit of money. I honestly don't really have any gripes with this concept, unless of course the gameplay is boring, then that game itself just sucks and no one should play it. Carx Street is not that. It's actually fun to play, but when you remove the microtransactions, which they did for the PC version, you're removing the player's ability to progress quickly. Again, no gripes with them removing the microtransactions. I'm not advocating for them to add them back in. In fact, what I want for them to do is balance the removal of those microtransactions with a new economy system that gives the players a better experience. Currently, the way the game is set up, you have to pay for literally everything. Entry into the clubs, fast traveling, gas for your car, tires for your car, NOS, performance upgrades, customizations, garage space, literally everything, none of which I have an issue with, but you don't make enough money to be able to do that freely. For example, if you start a race and happen to do poorly and need to restart, you can do that, but the gas and the NOS you use during your poor performance are gone. Let's say you get stuck on a boss race for a particular club and you have to restart multiple times. Well, you might run out of gas if you're not paying attention. You also might realize that the car just isn't going to cut it and you're going to end up having to spend some money upgrading it. Then, when you finally do finish that race, you don't make enough money to recoup what you spent trying to complete it. And now after that, to keep progressing, you need to buy a whole nother car for the next club, and potentially you're going to have to modify that one to fit the required class and the rating for that club, which, you guessed it, cost money. The way I describe it, it's like there's no way out of that cycle, and that feels true to a certain extent when you're playing. However, there are other things you can do to gain money, but those things are super grindy, and some of them are even time locked, which is another mobile game mechanic that feels like it's sort of slip through the radar here. Those grindy ways to make money are not as fun as just racing through the club races, which is effectively your campaign. The game feels artificially lengthened by mobile game mechanics without the mobile game microtransactions to speed it up. And so enter Carx Street's second biggest problem: cheating. Over the course of this week, people have figured out that they can just mod their game and get fully leveled and tons of money. That in and of itself really isn't a big deal because it really just ruins their experience, not yours. However, modding the money and XP is not where some players have stopped. There are players out there who have the ability to mod in unlimited NOS or slow down the speed of the game. And you're probably wondering how any of that affects you. Here's how. Carx Street has weekly time attack competitions with very good rewards. The leaderboards for those competitions are extremely sweaty. Like, the top 100 players are separated by less than a second. The top 20 players are separated only by milliseconds. And guess what unlimited NOS and slowing down your game allows you to do? Yep, go faster and take every corner perfectly, even if you have bad reaction time. Now, this is important for those events because you get rewarded based on how well you do against the community. It's very much like the summits in Motorfest. Unfortunately, the cheating issue was sort of born because of the economy issue, but both need addressing because now that the modding is happening, it's not going to stop even if the economy is fixed. Also, I have a theory as to why they decided to leave the economy the way it was and the grind the way it was for this PC version, and that's that there really isn't a true end game. I mean, what do you do after you've finished all of your club races, including the elite variants of them? To be honest, I'm not there yet, so I really don't know, but as of right now, I can't replay any of those club races, and I imagine it's gonna stay that way for the rest of the game. Maybe one of you savages who has already finished the game can let me know in the comments what happens after you finish your club races and your elite variants. Now, as big as those two problems are, I really want to end this video on a positive note because, to be honest, with the exception of the Hot Pursuit update for Need for Speed Unbound, Carx Street is the most fun I've had in a racing game in months. It has cars I want to drive in it, it has deep customization and performance upgrades, and it has private online multiplayer servers with betting and pink slips. And that means you guys and me can have a great time if we put some community events together, because we can get 16 of you guys in a private lobby just for our stream. I'm so ready to fall in love with this game, but it's just so hard to make money in the game because everything costs a lot and you just don't make enough per race. Anyways, thank you so much for listening to me rant. I hope Carx team sees this and decides to act. We need an update immediately. Please put out an update as soon as you possibly can. All we need for a temporary fix is to adjust the reward system. We need more money per race that we complete. Anyways, you guys are welcome to send me questions or DMs anytime on Instagram or Discord. I read every single message that comes my way. I don't respond super quick, but if you're just patient, I'll respond when I have some time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Trigger out.